Well, we've talked about tiny Caldari ships. We've even talked about mid-size Caldari ships. It's time to talk about big Caldari ships and see what they're good for, if they're great for you to get into. And yes, all the tier list shenanigans. So if you want the best EVE guides, you came to the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, Loru here, digital advertiser, content creator, and EVE enjoyer for the better part of 10 years now. And we're going to be talking about big Caldari ships today. We're going to be starting with the battlecruisers, and we already have one on Tech 1 ships. So if that's what you're into, if you're a Tech 1 person, go watch that video, because that's not this video. We're going to talk about all the Tech 2 ships. Yes, the Navy stuff, maybe mainly the Tech 2s. We're going to start with the Tech 2s. So let's discuss this right now. Let's start with the Ferox Navy issue. The FNI was actually so dominant, so good, so omnipresent in fleets last year, it actually got nerfed a couple times, I think. We'll start with the Ferox Navy. I gotta find it again. You already know I don't know. The Ferox Navy is still a great ship, and let's talk about battlecruisers while my eyes look around. This is going to be the Ferox Navy, even though it's probably just the Ferox. We're gonna call it the Ferox Navy. So let's talk about battlecruisers as a whole before we do this. So battlecruisers are really good for a couple things. First, they're hardier than cruisers, so they're harder to kill. And they're not as big as battleships, meaning application is not as good against them. And when you have a ship like the Ferox Navy that is going to get tracking speed, might be, and I agree with our buddy Orion who says this, the tracking speed or application increasers might be the best buff you can have in the game. I do agree. I think these are fantastic, and they are fantastic. They're fantastic. They're really good to have. And then it gets plus damage, and the shield boosters you're going to use for the various command bursts this is for heals, are cheaper to cost, and you can fit bigger shield boosters. That's huge. This one, shield booster power CPU requirements are less, means you can fit battleship and higher tier shield boosters without having to like break the bank of the ship. And then you can fit all the command bursts, and it has a bonus to optimal. It's basically the perfect fleet battlecruiser, because it lets you do really anything you want to do at range or up close. Because remember, medium hybriders are blasters and railguns. They've been nerfed and are still great, but they're not so seen in meta anymore because of the nerfs. They're now not exactly the best. So they're still really, really good. Where would I put the ship? Where would I put the ship? Well, I'd put it in a solid B right now. Okay, I put it in a solid B. And what we like to talk about is usability with these tier lists. These numbers and letters are not how good they are. They're how usable they are. So let's talk about what the Ferox is good for. It's a PvE king. It can't do Abyss. It's great at PvP and great at fleets. So since we're comparing battlecruisers to itself, I'm going to give it a high B, and I might even get a low A by the end of this, just because it's so solid. It's so just one of the better ships. A lot of options for this you can put in there, but not necessarily as great and as used, because it's been nerfed recently as some of the other ships out there. So Ferox Navy, great ship, but is still, with the nerfs, we'll talk about other stuff. So Drake Navy issue, the DNI.
FC, can I bring my Drake?
Yes, you can. The Drake Navy is great. It's fantastic. It's really excellent. Ghost says, is the stream black for you guys? Ghost, yeah, the stream is off. We're not, there's no stream. It's gone. Stream is dead. Everybody, we'll see you next time. Have a good time. Ghost, press F5. God, you can hear me. Press F5. Chat, type 1 if you can see me, for goodness sake. Edler, you can keep this in. Type 1 if you could. Can you see? Yeah, boy, see, we're alive. I'm here. I exist. Let's keep going. Now, the Drake gets bonuses to heavy missile, assault missile, damage, and explosion radius. This is still plus application and is very, very good. Very, very good. But you're noticing there's a lack of heals. Okay, it still can fit heals, but this is going to be more of like a buffer fit thing, and the missiles go faster, which means they can go further out. The Drake Navy issue is very good at like ranging down stuff. Really good at, think of this as like a siege weapon, something that can from very far away poke stuff and hit them for very hard and keep it going. It's just a classic. It's great, but it's not necessarily going to be for prolonged fights or for 1v1 engagements, because the Ferox Navy has those plus heal. This will let you out heal a lot of people. Basically, if it's Ferox Navy versus Drake Navy, the Ferox Navy is probably going to win because it has plus bonuses to its heals. So this ship is great, but because it's kind of a one-trick pony, it's really only good at select PvE missions and at range applications, and because it's not necessarily going to be the most used thing in PvP fleets, because the Ferox is still okay, I'm going to put it like in between these. These can get situational. We're not talking about the situational.
Loru, my fleet and I fly Drake Navy issues all the time.
Go with God. They're awesome. I'm not disparaging you. These are great, but they're not as usable as the Ferox Navy because of the lack of heal bonuses. So the Vulture. Caw. This is the Vulture. It is a Tech 2. These are command ships. Now, what's the difference? What's the difference? Now, they're Tech 2 ships. You have to be Omega to use them. The rest of these are Alpha friendly. Okay. Tech 2 ships are command ships. They are there basically to be like the FC. They're there to be the like spine of the ship, and they're also tankier and do better stuff. So, first of all, the Vulture is tankier, straight raw. If you have rank 4 command ships, you get 40% more HP. That's great. More damage. And your command bursts are better. You can see, instead of like having you heal yourself better, this is you buff the fleet better. And information command is super interesting as well. Info commands are like, you can lock stuff more consistently. E-War doesn't affect you as much. You have range on your scram. That's good, I guess. That's like pretty good. Sensor damage, you lock stuff faster. So sure, this is like, are you trying to gank something quickly? Okay. A lot of people are going to use the shield command burst because they help make you harder to kill. Maybe 1 info command burst because you can fit 2 command bursts. Okay. And you get it longer range. This is not nothing. This is a big deal. Tankier and optimal range on the medium hybrid turrets. Notice you're not seeing any tracking speed. This is a really good long range fight ship that you can keep poking stuff at range. Basically, if you have a bunch of Ferox navies hitting stuff, you want to be able to have a Vulture in the back being able to make sure that from behind you're doing maximum damage.
What did he say?
You want to make sure that you have a spine of your fleet, and the Ferox Navy can help you with that. Sorry, the Vulture can make sure your Ferox navies do really good damage. Where is this? Well, it's technically better than the Ferox Navy, and it has more to do with it. But because of its lack of heal, you're not really going to be able to do this in 1v1 engagements. Chat, help me to find the Vulture. I found it. And we're going to call this Vulture, chat. Okay, because who knows? So I want to put it to A, but really what we're going to do is we're going to put the Vulture in B and the Ferox Navy in A, because the Ferox Navy can solo and be in a fleet. The Vulture is pretty obviously going to be in a fleet. It really shines in a fleet. It's not really good in a 1v1 engagement because it doesn't get the plus heal effects. It's good in 1v1s, but the Ferox Navy is better. That's what we're trying to say. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, so that's where that's going to go. That's for the Vulture. Let's talk about the next one, the Nighthawk. Not always one of the best looking ships in the game. The Nighthawk is a behemoth. The Nighthawk's a monster. We use this on our Friday fleet a lot. We're able to go well above 100,000 EHP, rate of fire, explosion radius, and burst strength, very similar to the Vulture, but it also gets another plus damage modifier. It hits like a truck, is very tanky, and is going to boost up the fleet a lot. Now, it has less command burst range than the Vulture, only 50%. That's because the Vulture with the information command link is expected to be a little bit further out. The Vulture is really good at making sure that your small gang can get it done and can lock up stuff at range. The Nighthawk trades the fleet's E-War power for its own ability specifically to do a ton of damage. So you have to call me Nighthawk. I totally will. So, is that you, Mr. Nighthawk? Is that you? Okay. So it's very tanky. It hits like a truck and it can hold its own by itself. I'm going to put the Nighthawk above the Vulture simply because I believe it to be a little bit more consistent because it can hold its own. You're going to see the meta shift for a lot of these because we're getting into areas where it kind of depends on what you need to fly. So we're going to put this here. This is the Nighthawk, this is the Vulture, and this is the Drake Navy issue. We're going to put the Ferox Navy issue into A because why not? Okay, so those are the Tech 2 ones. It's time we get into the big boys, the large lads. It's time we get into, yes, the Scorpion Navy issue. This ship is used a lot. It's used a ton because there's been some nerfs recently. Not to it, but to Marauders and the like. Check this out. You'll notice that the Marauders no longer have this little clause at the end that most battleships used to have that the Scorpion does. Let me show you. A lot of these Navy battleships still do, Buffer tank go burr. You can make these flying bricks in space. They hit faster and they're tanky. These alpha ships, these are alpha friendly. Okay, you don't have to be Omega to fly them. They are less on the bonuses, but they're still very, very powerful. Okay, because you can do rate of fire. They do very quick torpedoes. You can do mid-range or long range. They can fit torpedoes, which are extremely far range, and cruise missiles too. Let's go into cruise missiles so y'all can see what the heck what we're picking up while we're putting down. Let's go rank 5. Let's do a cruise missile. Where is the Tech 2 cruisy boys? Give me this so I can show you this. Yeah, cruise missile spec. Boop. Let's throw one of these. Let's throw on the Fury. This goes out to 111 with nothing else in. This is a tanky ship that even by the time you get to it, it's done a bunch of pot shots. You're still good to go. And it has 75 drone bandwidth and space, which means you can fit like a combination of like heavy, medium lights. You could do all mediums. You can do all lights. It's got a big enough drone bay. It has options. It's a really solid ship. It's a PvE, very good at PvE. You're going to see Scorpion navies are used in faction warfare decently still. A lot of people used the Scorpion navy in Pochfin as well for basically all of last year to do a lot of big bad stuff. Now you're going to notice,
Loru, where's the ECM?
Yeah, the Scorpion as a base ship has ECM bonuses. The Scorpion navy trades out no E-War for get rid of
that E-War garbage. I want to do
Damage.
And it does, my goodness. They're bricks that do damage at range. They're very good ships. PvE, fleets, solo, they're pretty great. They don't get any plus heal anythings, but they have such a big buffer and they have so many lows that you can really push their passive tank up quite high. And they're used in a lot of niche things. So we're going to put them pretty high in the usability. We're going to put it right behind the Ferox Navy because since they're expensive, because they're alpha friendly, because a lot of people use them. So these are more usable than the command ships, but they're still just as good as all these. All these are solid ships. You literally cannot go wrong with any Caldari Navy. Any Caldari ships that are above battlecruisers, they're just great ships. So that's where I'm putting it. I'm putting it right there. So many mid slots for resist and shield. Yeah, a lot of times ships, I mean, look at this. Look at this. You can do a lot with 3, 6, 8 mids. My gosh, you know,
A lot.
it's just too many, if quite frankly. And look, you've got 6 missile hard points and you can do turrets too. Some shenanigans could happen with this, okay? Because you can fit, is that 3, 6? You actually can fit a turret hard slot there too. I'll let y'all get up to what y'all are going to get up to. Okay, so let my Raven Torbit fit? Yes. Speaking of Ravens. So Ravens, you'll see cruise missile torpedoes. The rest of it's about the same. This ship has a similar layout. It's got, what is that, 7 mids, but it's got more highs, just like the Vulture was like a brawler and can be at range. And then the Drake Navy was like at range and like buffer. The Scorpion can go up close with heavy missiles. The Raven says, I don't want to go up close. I want to be far away from you and laugh as you melt. You get a fleet of these. Talk about siege weapons, Raven Navy issues. If you get 3 of your buddies and you want to go pop something, this is what to do it with. Now, look at the price. This one's 50 million more because these are more used in sieging structures and the like. They really can't hold their own though. They can, but comparatively, the Scorpion Navy is going to be better. Do these have drones as well? They have more drones, but the similar bandwidth. So more options on the drones. You could try to fit sniper drones if you want. You can only use 4 of them, I think. You can try to use different kinds of drones here. You can get along just fine with both of these. The only difference is the Scorpion Navy can be up close and be far. The Raven Navy, can be mainly just far away with torpedoes and cruise missiles. Let me show this to you. Let's get some torpedoes. Let's get the Tech 2 rapid torpedo launcher. Sure. Oh, this is the rapid torpedoes. Can I not do that? Oh, I can't do that in this one. Where's the torpedo spec? Yeah, torpedo launcher 2. Let's throw in Nova javelins. You can see we're going out to 66. So this is like mid-range-ish, and then the cruise missiles are even far. Torpedo Ravens, Raven Navies, do a lot of damage, and you can fly through level 4s with these and have a really awesome time with them. They're great, but they can't do the close-up stuff, which is what the Scorpion Navy can do. So where should we put this guy? Well, first I have to find it. First I have to locate it on this list. There's so many things. This is the Raven Navy. I found it. We're going to put it slightly behind this. Slightly. Just because it's more usable, because it's an alpha-friendly ship. Slightly behind the Scorpion Navy. It's still a fantastic ship. So, you know, let's talk about the Widow. This ship is a menace. This ship is a terror. You see a Widow on D-scan, it's time to leave. I don't care who you are. You see a Widow on D-scan, the hair starts standing up going,
Hey guys, FC, Widow on.
These are scary. They're Black Ops ships. First of all, it's the bigger Scorpion. A Black Ops ship can fit specifically Cyno generators. So if you see a Widow, he might be bringing the party to you, okay? He can bring a covert jump portal generator, so they can also be something that how Cynos work is either he can generate the Cyno, which means you're coming to him, but he can also have the covert portal generator, and there has to be an A and a B. The Widow can be either A or B. So it can be the thing that gets you there, or it can be the thing that lands on you and helps the party come to you. No targeting delay after cloaking deactivation, and it's reduced to 5 seconds. They cannot covert ops cloak, but they can go very fast with cloak, and they can target you immediately the moment they decloak, just like a stealth bomber can. These are the only ships in the game that can do that, and they did get nerfed, but they're still great. They're still fantastic. So you also have 50% less reduction in the duration. This is great, so you can get off grid faster. You go faster when using cloaking devices. So what that means, it's very silly because you can't, I like the balance here. I've always liked the balance of these. So with you can see, we go about battleship speed, 132. If I put a improved cloak on there, we actually go, come on. If I take this off, if I turn this on, we actually go 250. We go faster cloaked than we do normally. That's not the whole story. And those of you that fly Black Ops ships know this. You put a micro warp drive on this puppy. Those of you that know, you know what's coming. Put this on, okay? Now you pulse this one time, then you activate the cloak. What ends up happening is the buffs stack. So you get the speed boost of the micro warp drive going 631% velocity, meaning you go 756. But then you activate the cloak when you're towards the end of it, or when you're towards the middle of it, whatever, and you get the bonus that the Black Ops ship gives, specifically Black Ops ship, you go another 650% faster. So you do multiple percentage bonuses. If you're in a Black Ops ship and you do this right, you will get 80 kilometers away from somebody very fast. And then you cloak up and laugh. It's just a very fun ship. We're going to be trying some Black Ops content very soon. I've been practicing off stream. You'll see, chan. You'll see. And it gets a little bit tanky because it has the bulkhead still. Now, the Black Ops ships, all of them got nerfed literally last month, where they do not have the shield and armor plate bonus, but it does have the reinforced bulkhead still. It still has this. Let me show you this. The Widow still has the 5% reinforced bulkheads on the very bottom there. Now, we've talked about the tech of this. It's a terror. If you see it uncloak, good luck. You're probably already dead. It's very tanky. It can do close, mid, far. The farther out it is, they'll actually be able to go even further. That's max velocity. So if other missile ships can hit this far, the Widow can hit this far. And a 40% bonus to ECM jammer and burst jammer strength. This one ship can unlock your entire fleet, bro. Okay, let's talk burst jammer 2. This is I have rank 5 Black Ops, 26 points. Normally you're like, okay, I have 5 points, pretty sick. If you are within, let me find this, 18 kilometers of a Widow and you've got a fleet, he's about to unlock half your fleet. Come on. It's real funny. It's like,
FCFC, I'm here now. I've arrived. They will not be hurting you anymore. They're just
gonna do it. Okay, and this is not even the targeted burst. Let's look at the targeted one. Let's go for this one down here. Let's go for, this is just a Ladar ECM, sure. This is a targeted burst jammer. Now watch, it's only ECM strength 5, but you can target them within... Come on. Come on, dude. He can target you within 50 kilometers and say,
That guy's not locking anything. He's only gonna lock me. That guy's just gonna lock onto me. He won't be locking it. It's just
Going to lock on to him and nothing else. This is pretty funny. And how ECM works, sorry, it's 14 on the right one. 14. I missed it. It's 14 for this one. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. How these work is it doesn't just unlock you from all targets. It unlocks you from every target except the thing ECMing you. But, man.
Oh, good. I can just kill the widow, right? I can just kill the widow, right?
No, it's tanky. It's hard to kill. This thing is a menace. It's a great ship. It does a lot. We used Black Ops ships for the Winter Nexus, and I remember looking in local, we're in high sec using a widow because they took away Marauders from the Winter Nexus, but not widows, not Black Ops ships. Someone local was like,
"So, widow, what you doing out here, bro?"
And that's not even the whole story. This ship has a fuel bay. You can sino it by itself somewhere. You can sino your buddy somewhere. It can be an initiator. It can be a transport ship. It's got really great, excellent cargo, 750, decent, good drone bay, 75, good layout. You can do missiles, you can do torps, you can do PvE, you can do PvP. It does a lot of these ships. Yes, chat, we're gonna give the Widow a solid S, okay? You fly the Widow, you can do a lot with these ships, okay? Now, other ships can do other niches, but the Widow has a lot more it can do. This is a usability chart, okay? The Widow can do PvE, inting, high sec, low sec, null sec. You could take them into parchment. If you see a Widow on D-scan, immediately you're like, I'm safe, everything's fine, everything's gonna be fine. Is that a Widow? It's gonna send the fear into you. That's what we're talking about. The Widow's an S-tier ship as far as usability goes. It's great. Consider checking it out. I love it. I love them. I'm going to be using them more. So we're not doing the T1 ships. We already did those, chat.
Loru, you said the Marauders were nerfed.
Loru said the Marauders were nerfed. He's going to put this lower, I think.
The Marauders were nerfed, but are still absolute kings. There are two types of ships I recommend every single person, and three types of ships I recommend every single person be able to fly. The first is Tech 2 haulers. I don't have this, but I have the Galentes. You need to fly Tech 2 haulers. It opens up the game for you. How are you going to sell something if you're made of paper? Okay, get at least the blockade runner. I have both. We use both. That's number one. Number two, you got to use Tech 3 cruisers. Any Tech 3 cruiser. Just pick one. They're fantastic. The other thing, the final type of ship that I believe every single pilot should be able to get into because they're that good, Marauders. Pick one. I don't care. The Golems are considered the weakest one with quotes around it because it's excellent at PvE, but it's still great. The Vargur got a ton of nerfs. The Kronos is still good. And the Paladin does what a Paladin will do. The Golem is considered the weakest because it gets bonuses to cruise and torpedoes. It still doesn't have that close range power that the Kronos has. But a Marauder with cruise missiles still does like 1500 DPS. Okay. So, right, same as the Tengu because they specialize at range ops. So, Tom DeBear is right. They're the weakest at PvP. Again, weakest is a hell of a statement when you're in a daggum brick that you can't kill, but they're the strongest at PvE. We'll cover the Barbaroga later. The
Baba Yaga.
We're going to cover that one later. So first of all, the Golem gets a bonus to shield booster amount. Okay, bro. So it just heals for more.
I heal more than you. Try it.
It has target painter effectiveness. That's big. That's big. Because that means if you're within range of them, the entire fleet is hitting you better. Big stuff. It gets bonuses to cruise missile torp. This is mid and far. Okay. Velocity means they go further than other people, further. They also have explosion velocity. This is application. This means it hits stuff better. That's really good. Compared to other missile ships, you're going to hit stuff better. Straight up, double damage to everything. Now notice this. You can use heavy missiles. But they're not going to do as good at applying as the other ones. That's okay. They do a good job at applying anyway, comparatively to cruises and torpedoes. You can use this at close range, but it's just not as good as other Marauders close range. You do get the Marauder bonus of tractor beams and bastion modules. It helps you a lot. The Bastion module is a Marauder-specific thing that you become stationary, but then you get a crap ton of buffs. You missile rate of fire bonus, 50% less. Optimal range increased. Remote, you can't get remote repped. You become your own brick. Everybody knows what a Bastion module does, but basically it makes your ship very, very good. You can't leave for another like minute-ish, or maybe it's 2 minutes. Whatever it is, you can't leave and you can't be repped, so you have to rep yourself. This ship's great. It can fly through level 4 missions, PvE stuff. It's still really good at PvP, although you're going to be using other Marauders typically in fleets. It can still hold its own. It can do nullsec. It can do wormholes. It can do potchfin. It can do los. It can do everything everywhere in space all the time. It can't Sino or do anything like that. And the Marauders were essentially the S-tier ship. No, they're a one-man army ship. I couldn't have said it better myself. Absolutely. Absolutely. The only reason we're putting the Black Ops ship above the Marauders is because it recently got nerfed. Marauders have been nerfed a lot. Specifically, they've been denied content types. As of last year, Marauders can no longer go into the ESS bank in Null. Can't defend them. They were also locked out of the Crimson Harvest, Winter Nexus, excuse me. You could do Black Ops, but not Winter Nexus. They're so strong, CCP Games is like,
we have to stop them being so dominant. Literally, just take a hammer and make them stop being so good.
That's what they've been doing. Still S tier, still great. You could do a lot with them, but the Black Ops ships can do more. This is a usability chart, ladies and gentlemen. So the Marauders are the strongest ships in high-sec PvE content, bar none. Even so, S-tier ship, consider getting into them. They are fantastic. They're excellent, and I highly recommend them. That's what that's for. We're going to have more tier lists coming up very, very soon. If you want to know what all the ships do, if you're looking at this like,
Loru, there's too many ships.
We've got those playlists right here for you. I coughed there for a sec, chat. Well, check it out. Sub right here for the best Eve guide. See more tier lists, more good stuff, and be able to fly the ships you love. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks very, very much.